Hi, I'm Stephen Hand from Archery Supplies, and today we're looking at the Fivics Saker tab. Now, Fivics produce so many finger tabs, it gets confusing for me. I don't know which one to buy, and there's so many finger tabs on the market, it's really hard to choose. So, to start off with, the Fivics Saker tab is a basic finger tab. It's for the elite archer. Cordovan material here. Cordovan you really need if you're going to shoot a recurve bow of a higher poundage. You can get away with cheaper leathers in, let's say, 32 and under. As soon as you start going up, you need Cordovan. Now, this shaped tab is very similar to many other tabs on the market, and I'm going way back to the Cavalier tabs, or now the AAE tab, which is the same company, which has been used to win Olympic medals. The shape of the finger spacer is quite narrow and shaped. I found it quite comfortable to shoot. I've just shot indoor round with this tab, testing it out. It's a very lightweight aluminium, so you've got Cordovan there and some leather on the back. Now I'm shooting about 52 pounds and I had no finger pain at all with this tab. Now, one thing I did notice with this tab, my sight settings moved up, so there's got to be some difference between where I'm anchoring with this tab and the tab which I was shooting, well, just literally previously, the Fairweather tab. So the Fairweather tab is there, and this is the Fivics tab here. So I'm going to guess there's some difference, and I can't even see what it is because it looks identical. But my sight's moved up significantly with the Fivics tab over the Fairweather tab. Now, the Fairweather tab, this is an Australian built tab, and this review is not about the Fairweather tab, but we're going to go over some other tabs. The Fairweather tab is made in Australia. The big selling point with this tab, well, what I think is the big selling point, is this rubber ring. It just makes the tab so comfortable. Now, the minus point of the Fairweather tab, whether you call it minus, is it's a fixed plate here. So basically when it fits in, but I found it very comfortable and I've been shooting quite well with it. It uses kangaroo leather. So you'll notice here I've got lots of layers of kangaroo to protect my fingers. With Cordovan, you're only using like the 1 or 2 layers. But this tab I found really very, very comfortable. Really love this ring. And I said to Simon, the owner of this company, it'd be really good if you had your metal thing and adjustability, maybe our brass. And he goes, we'll put up the cost. Now, I don't think cost is an issue if you're shooting recurve. And when I say at a high level, a lot. I shoot recurve every single day, lots of arrows. But that's a Fairweather tab. I've been using that for a couple of months now. Really like it. Yeah, Fivics, obviously, this is a Saker Plus. Very similar, more advanced system here. You can see more advanced here. This one's going to be more expensive. Still Cordovan. This is your Win and Win 360 tab. Very similar to your Fairweather to your Fivics Saker tab. There's meant to be a shelf in there, which somehow I've taken off. This is the Axel Pro Contour. Now, this is really hard to get at the moment. It's very hard to get Axel stuff anywhere in the world. I'm finding with the back of it, so your fingers are kind of grooved into this metal. It's actually hurting my finger on the edge here, so my fingers are probably too fat for it. So maybe I need this one in a large. I normally use medium, so my little finger here is digging into this groove here, so my hand is too wide for the plate. So if I go there, you can see it's actually digging half into this finger here. Anyway, nice tab. I really like it, except obviously I need a different size, but Axel don't have them on the market. Different price point to the Fivics tab. So when we get into the shooting this, how does it feel? It feels different. And when I say different, some tabs you put right up to the string, so the metal plate goes right up to the string. With this, I'm kind of just sitting there and just locking into my jaw. It's a very basic tab. It's like the sort of tab you use when you get started in archery. Doesn't mean you're not going to shoot it well. The finger spacer in the middle is, I'm not getting any pressure here. It's not hurting my fingers at all. So how did I shoot? So I've shot my first indoor round with it, and we're just going to move this around so hopefully we don't get as much glare. So 3 weeks ago I was shooting about 290s to 285 indoors. Then I changed everything on my bow, and my scores dropped. So it's been very cold and wet, making excuses. My scores have dropped to somewhere between 270, 280 at the club last night. I shot 277 and a 273. Coming home, shooting the Saker tab, first round I shot 285, so I'm very happy with that. So that's like one of my better scores for a while. Now, it's very, very hard to pick a tab. First thing, if you go to an archery shop and you go, it's a whole wall of finger tabs, and we have literally several walls of finger tabs. It's very hard to pick one, and which one are you going to like? It's going to take time for you to go whether you like this tab or that tab. Like, you won't know whether you like this tab until you've shot it for probably several months. And then you'd have to shoot another tab, shoot that, and see which one you like. So, like, I've shot well with this today. I would generally like a tab with more structure than this, but it's kind of sitting there and it feels nice, and I shot a good score, so good score for me. So this would be the type of tab that I'd experiment with. I'd still shoot the Fairweather tab because I'm obviously very happy with that. And then I'd monitor it over like several weeks of shooting to see which one I sort of shoot better with. I'd monitor to see if I'm getting any pain in my fingers, whether often the center spacer for your fingers, that often hurts. This feels comfortable at the moment. Price on this. Now, most of your Cardovan finger tabs are going to be, $80 plus. That's where this finger tab is in the market. Now, I just got back from a competition on the weekend. It was the Christine Player event, so it's held up at Port Pirie. Shot it last year with a compound, this year with a recurve. I'm going to say what's really important is to wear a tight-fitting top or have a chest guard. I didn't. It was really cold, and I put on a blue wind cheater, and my string hit the wind cheater twice or three times, and I had 3 bad arrows. I had another bad arrow. I thought the clicker went, didn't. So I had 4 bad arrows out of the event, and I was 20 points off my personal best with 4 bad arrows out of 90. So it wasn't too bad. I mean, what I really like about the competition, it's going there, seeing everyone, people from last year, the new people to shoot the event for the first time. We went up this time in a caravan, so it's the first time taking a caravan away. I had to get my car fixed to tow the caravan. That took 6 months and $4,000. And literally all I needed was a resistor pack. Got 3 mechanics, and $4,000 later, $180 resistor pack fixed the problem. Which is weird. So on the Mercedes, and this is a review about the tab. On the Mercedes, it works fine with halogen lights, but when you use LED lights, for some reason you need to buy this resistor pack, which is $180. Now with this is the Axel tab. I'm pretty sure your string will go up against that metal, and that's fairly common. With the Saker tab, it doesn't go up against the ledge. So I can feel more of my finger placement with this tab. This is the type of tab I started with when I started shooting recurve. Now, for some reason, I think that as you progress in archery, you want to buy fancier things, so fancier bows, fancier sights, fancier stabilizers, and that point carries through on finger tabs. You're looking to buy a fancier finger tab. So you wouldn't probably look at this finger tab, you'd probably look at those more expensive ones that we've just been through. But this is still a very good finger tab. It doesn't hurt your fingers, you can feel the string well, and people have had success with this finger tab since I was young. And all you've got to do is think back to the days of Darryl Pace and Rick McKinney, back when most of you weren't born, probably, and they were shooting very simple tabs and shooting these amazing scores with aluminium arrows. Scores that most of us still don't shoot. Now, for some reason with this tab, when I shoot, I'm guessing it's because it's a bit loose in my fingers, it's coming in my little finger, so this finger's getting whacked by the back of the tab. So I'm not sure if that's because it's loose or something, but that definitely doesn't occur with the Fairweather tab or many of the other ones. So maybe I just need to, with Fivics, it's not elastic, it's a tight fit. It's a tight, it's just basically a rope. So on some of these tabs, I like it kind of, I feel like you want your hand to be held more in place. But then with the Fivics Saker Plus, that's got everything to hold your hand in place, and it felt too restrictive for me, so. And then I look back at some of the top Olympic shooters, and I think it's Frangini, I think, someone from Italy, who was shooting with the glove, just like so simple. All about the technique and the style. Not so much about the technical stuff that we're looking for as far as like fancy equipment, which most people are looking for today, fancy equipment. Last arrow, so this is the 10th arrow. I always feel back to make sure there's no more arrows back there. Alright, let's go down and have a look. Okay, so I'm up here at the target. This is the group. I can almost get my fingers around the group, which is, like, I'm really happy with this group. And look, I got one high arrow, and that's still pretty good for 10 arrows. Like, the sights need to come across it. Now, for some reason, I don't know why, for some reason when I shoot the Fivics tab compared to the Fairweather tab, my arrows moved left on the target and they moved up. And you can see the group is still to the left. So I've shot 30 arrows. This is the 40th bunch of arrows, so 40 arrows here, 10, so 4 sets of 10. And that's still to the left. With a Fairweather tab is more to the right. I don't know why that is. I don't know if it's just because I've come back home after a tournament and my body's not in the same position. The sights are considerably different, and yes, there was wind at the tournament, but this is the kind of stuff I just experiment with. So for me, look, this is a very basic tab. The Fivics tab is very basic. It's a high quality tab in the price range, which is not high, but it's comparable to everything else. But it's simple. You don't have to think too much. It's going to fit onto your hand. You're not going to have any issues about whether it feels comfortable or not. This will feel comfortable. It's simple. Comes in all different sizes. Now, the first thing people are going to say, well, can I get in a different color? The color represents the size of the tab. So if you ordered XX extra small, it's a different color. If you order large, it's a different color. If you order extra large, it's a different color. Comes in left and right. There's Saker 2, Saker 1, Saker 3. Look, they're all very, very similar, just mildly different. Now, for me, this group, I'm pretty happy with, like very, very happy. I'm very happy if I went to a Nationals and shot that group at 18 meters indoors, I'd be very happy. So with that, it's not to say I'm going to go away from the fair weather tab. I'm going to shoot more arrows, and that's what I recommend you do when you try out different tabs. Is when you change to a new tab, you shoot arrows with it and you see how it is and you see whether you prefer it or not. Now you can see, like, so this has had 40 arrows through it so far. Like, you can see it's been shot, but the Cardovan is a very good leather. It shows very limited. That's where I tie the string on. You can see there's probably a few little marks there where the string is tied on, like knocking point. But overall, it's pretty good. It's not to say I won't try the other ones, but when you get the finger tabs that are more form-fitting, sometimes it just doesn't fit into your hand and you don't get stuff fitting where you want it to. Where this result I'm really happy with, and we'll give this one a go, we'll give the other one a go. Like, I was shooting the Win EZR finger tab, which I really liked. It's just that this thing broke on it. I've got another one in the shop, I've just got to fit it. But I was just testing other finger tabs to do reviews with. But I'm so happy with this group that I'm going to give this one a bash for a while. And I've got no finger pain whatsoever after 40 arrows, so that's a good sign as well. So, and if you get finger pain, it's generally along this nerve here, and that's what you don't want. So I've been experimenting with stuff to try and get that finger pain out. Anyway, I'm Stephen Hand from Archery Supplies. That's the Fivics Saker finger tab. They should be available at your local archery shop. Fivics is shipping pretty well, and I think the Saker tabs and that sort of stuff are not really a problem to get. Fivics bows are a problem to get. Fivics limbs, carbon is a problem to get. Carbon is a problem to get. So carbon arrows are going to be a problem to get if you don't have them now. There's shortages worldwide of carbon. There's no carbon in this, so let's hope there's no shortages of horse leather. But this stuff should be relatively available. I'm Stephen Hand from Archery Supplies. Thanks for watching. Bye.